Well, we're happy to be sitting here 5-1 right now. After you go back and watch the video, we didn't play as well as we have been playing. Offensively, I felt like we hurt ourselves on a couple of drives. We got too much pressure on the quarterback, and we weren't able to take the ball and go score like we want to. We didn't have a lot of opportunities either. And defensively, we did some really good things at times, but we didn't get off the field on third down like we normally do. And therefore, the game was very short and very different for everybody. Was one of those things that you just had to battle and find a way to win the game. And I really felt like our players did that. Even one of the funny questions I got asked after the game, I can't remember her name, but she said, you got lucky there and got the penalty. But the whole time I was thinking, well, our defense will stop them anyway. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like we got lucky at all. I felt like our players played hard. We worked hard. It certainly was a roughing penalty, and we took it in and scored in 2 plays. So, and then they didn't even call timeout at the end of the game. So their whole idea coming into the game was to keep the score down. So, but we're happy to get the win. We're really looking forward to the North Carolina State game. They're a very, very good football team. We know them well because the majority of the players are the same guys we've been playing against for the last 2 years. They're very well coached. They're a physical team. We've always had really good battles with them and found a way to win in the fourth quarter. So I imagine this is going to be a very good football game that'll be fun to coach in and certainly fun for our players to play in.
Do you expect more of the way Duke plays you, Bobby, or does it just depend on what kind
I don't think so. I think, North Carolina State will come in and they believe in what they do. They believe in their offense and their defense, and they'll just do what they normally do.
What do they normally do?
I mean, they run the ball real well. They got a quarterback that was throwing for over 70% completions. Defensively, they line up in 4-man front and pressure a little bit, but not as much as a lot of guys do. They play very sound. They make you earn it is really what they do. They really make you earn it. They tackle well, and they run full speed to the ball. So they're very impressive.
Did your perception of who they are change at all after they played so well at Clemson?
I mean, we know them well. Like I said, we've been battling the same coaches and mostly the same players for 2 years now. I knew that would be a good, close, hard-fought football game, as Clemson did going into the game. I mean, you could put the video on and you watch North Carolina State and you see the physicalness of their defensive front and their offensive front, the same 2 linebackers we've been going against. We got lucky our first year because their inside linebacker didn't play against us, number 4. But they're really good.
Bobby, talk about Gaze, the running back. I think he had 1 long run against you last year, but really only about 25 yards other than that. Talk about how he's grown and what.
Yeah, I thought defensively last year we played maybe one of our better games all year long. We really controlled the front. Not only did our gap responsibilities, but got off blocks and made tackles. I thought we had really good coverage. So I thought that was one of our best defensive games. And certainly we needed it because offensively, we struggled and found ways to score some points, enough points to win the game. But we certainly weren't consistent at all offensively in that game.
What has enabled their quarterback to complete 70-some-odd% of?
Yeah, I mean, they're taking good care of him. They're doing a lot of things where he's throwing the ball out to receivers and they catch it and have chances to run with it. They're doing a lot of the good quick passing game they're good at. He gets the ball out of his hand quick, and you got to be able to put him in situations where 3rd and long, where you have the ability to rush the passer and get after him.
Consistency, I guess, out of Jeremy Smith. Why do you feel like he's so good at the breaking along the teams when he's not necessarily the fastest guy?
Yeah, that's a great question because, leading up to this season, in every scrimmage, he's had one big run, one long run. Now, our last scrimmage of this fall, he didn't break a long run. And I went up to him afterwards and said, Jeremy, what's going on? You didn't have a long run today. It's the first time in any scrimmage we've ever had that you didn't break a long run. So he's really starting to play well. He's been in there a lot because of his pass protection and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. But we do have a lot of confidence in him running the football. He's got great vision. He does a nice job of pressing the blocks and can really come to balance and get out of it. So I think he just has really improved and continues to get better as the year goes on.
Kind of reflect on what last season was like when we had some of the fumbles and what you guys say to him. And obviously, I guess you got to hold on the ball to play.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want to fumble the ball. He was trying to carry it correctly. A couple times when he got hit from behind, he didn't get the other hand over it. Sometimes it's a difference between junior college football and major college football, and guys are a little quicker, faster, hit a little harder, so you got to learn how to do it. So I think he's done a good job of adjusting, and took him a little time, but I think he's done a really nice job.
Where's the LJ Scott fit into?
Yeah, LJ's been nicked up all year long. I felt like at Clemson he was helping us a lot and really doing a nice job, and then right before half he tweaked his hamstring again, and then he hasn't been able to get back on the field yet. He was close the other night. I think if we got into an emergency situation, he could have went in and helped us some, but he wasn't 100%. He should be full speed for this game.
Did you expect this kind of year from Drew Bailey? Did you see some signs?
Yeah, Drew's a good football player. We knew last year that we had a really good pass rusher and a guy that could anticipate the cadence and the count and come off the ball and be physical. I thought our defense did a really nice job with him last year and not asking him to do too many things. But then in the off season, it was okay, let's learn the game of football and learn how to play the run and use your hands and get better, and he's certainly done that. He was a tremendous pass rusher for us a year ago and made a lot of big plays just because of his penetration. But now he understands the game better.
Bobby, was it all mental for him? Because he's always seemed to look the part.
It was just learning the game, just understanding that it's not just physical ability, that there's, I think Rankins helped him a lot because Rankins was an expert at the game. He knew exactly what his technique was. He knew what offensive linemen were doing. So I think his ability to be around Sheldon and learn that, hey, there's more to this game than just my pure physical ability. It's to understand and get an edge, find a way to get an edge mentally, and then I can even use my ability more.
How much do you foresee other teams trying to do what Duke did to you on Friday, controlling the ball?
Yeah, I don't really see that. I think that, and I'm not sure, but I really think that North Carolina State will come in. They believe in what they do. They believe in their offense. They believe in their defense and what they do, and I think it'll be a heck of a football game.
How much does it change play calling within a game when you can see what Duke is trying to do and having a little bit of success at it?
Well, the first thing I'd do is stay awake. That's the first thing. That's some boring stuff now.
What's the second thing?
I'm just kidding. Kinda.
Bobby, you alluded a little bit after the game, there were some technical things that you didn't do right. Are you concerned about anything in particular, offense, defense, or anything in particular?
Yeah, I think we just have to do we have to go out this week and have a great week of practice and be more intense, more into our focus, more in the preparation that we've had for, the other games that we've played early in the fall. And I just feel like, we were losing a little bit of intensity and a little bit of focus. And the difference between winning and losing is not a whole lot. So we weren't at the top of our game, and we need to get back to that and get back to our players, working to have the best game that they've had all year.
How hard is that to keep going throughout 12 years?
Well, my dad always tells me that you're not going to be up as high as every game as you are the other game. And, I told the players the same deal, and I said, but I don't really know if I believe that or not, but we have to work to go out and perfect our craft. And, I always think as a player, and particularly our seniors, they don't have a lot of games left. So So you need to go out and try to have your best game to date. And the way you do that is earn it on the practice field and earn it in the classroom by studying and being focused and alert.
Like with, your approach to the kickers and switching those guys around.
Yeah, we took the 2 weeks of the bye and competition and going well, and didn't work out real good in the game. So whatever approach I've taken hasn't worked very well. So we just got to keep working at it and keep going. But we don't have any experience there, and but you can't go out and miss 2 field goals like we did the other night. So I got to do a better job. That's on me. Yeah, I think so. I think that Blanton, did a really nice job last night. We had a deal for him last night, and I thought he did a great job with that. One of the things that in the 2 weeks that we had off there, O'Hara was kicking the ball really well.
Are those players different, the kickers different, or advantage you like to have one as opposed to the other?
Say that again.
I don't know how to say it exactly. Are they different in that you'd like to have one kicker as opposed to the other one? One gives you an advantage, maybe?
I mean, I like to have the one that's going to put it through the uprights. That's the good one. But a lot of it's not just the kicker too. It's it's more than that. It's the operation, the snap, the hold, the placement of the ball. We missed a field goal the other night because we didn't mark the ball correctly. We were supposed to line it up at a certain spot, and we were wrong. We were off by half a yard, and it almost got blocked off the short side of the field, which I'm convinced caused them to pull the ball. And that was an alignment issue, which should never happen. We lost a game one time at TCU where you tell the kicker to spot the ball 7 yards back from the football. And at TCU, we hit the upright, and it bounced forward. The ball was 7.5 yards the spot was 7.5 yards from the ball, from the line of scrimmage. So it's, there's a whole lot to it, and we're just not precise enough on all aspects to be where we need to be. And, we got to get better at it. We got to work really hard at it, because we'll have a game this year that will probably come down to a last-second field goal.
Does that affect your play calling or your game plan?
It does, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It affects you when, you know where I'm trying to get the ball for a field goal, and I messed that up a little bit the other night too. I should have probably ran the ball, which is hard to do. I didn't want to get booed, 3rd down at home. But I probably should have ran the ball, got us 6 or 7 more yards closer, and then kicked the field goal than take a shot. But and it is hard to do. It's hard to call that run. But as looking back on it, watching, and I was wanting to call a run play too, but I kept hearing the boos of the crowd. And I said, "Nah, I'm throwing it." So it was a mistake. Yeah, the holder has to flip sides. He's got to go from one side to the other, hold it with a different hand. So, it is different, and Mason has worked extremely hard on it. He's got to open up his stance a little bit more. So there is different. It's really hard on the holder, I think, and he has to really work at it, and he has. Yeah, I think he's doing a good job silently. He hasn't had that breakout game, the big sack game. He certainly wasn't going to get it the other night because he didn't get the opportunities. The other night was about defending the run, setting the edge, getting off blocks, making tackles, because he didn't get any really opportunities to rush the passer. So, but we're hoping that we get those breakout games that he had here the last part of the season last year.
Did you watch NC State Clemson?
Mhm, yeah.
And Ohio State Wisconsin too, hoping you might get some help?
I didn't watch so much of the Ohio State-Wisconsin game, but I watched the Clemson-North Carolina State game, obviously, because we're playing them. I'm sure they feel like they left one out there. Obviously, they had their chance.
That came down to a field goal too.
Yeah, a few of them, a couple of them.
Bobby, with the goals that you guys have on this team and where you currently are, do you scoreboard watch at all, or will you as the season starts to wind down a little bit?
Do what?
Do you scoreboard watch at all?
Like when the game's going on?
No, afterwards.
See what your opponents are doing.
Like afterwards, like when you're in your office, like Saturday, watching around, you see what other teams are doing?
I'll be real honest with you. Like after our game, or and I don't watch Sports Center. I don't turn on football. I don't watch Remember the Titans or whatever that show is. You get a hole full of football here now, and you go home. I watch NCIS, something like that. I get tired of it a little bit, and you get a little break from it, and relax. Like the other night, I went to the movie. Instead of staying home and watching some of those Saturday night football games, I went to the movie and watched the what was it called? Oh, The Accountant. I went and watched The Accountant. One of them shoot 'em up, kill 'em movies. So it was pretty interesting, though.
What's your review?
I like it. Thumbs up. Go see it.
Is that a reboot for you? Is that a reboot?
Yeah, exactly. It really is. You got to get away and get, and then get up Sunday and come in here and grind away. So